Hello and welcome to the Word and Spirit podcast, where we learn to live life rooted in the Word, empowered by the Holy Spirit. And last week we've been talking about leadership, and we've been talking about different aspects, and resolving conflicts is what we focused on last week. And today we'll be talking on burnout and how we can prevent burnouts in our places of leadership. Of course, we have with us our senior pastor, Pastor Ashish Raichur. Thank you, Pastor, once again for being with us. So, Pastor, in leadership is taxing, both in the mind, in the body, and if we're not careful, it can lead to a burnout, right? So, what is the difference between feeling tired or feeling overwhelmed and actually being in a dangerous state of a burnout?
I think the big difference would be the motivation to continue, right? If I'm tired, or if a leader is tired for that, it's not like they don't want to continue. They want to, but they realize, okay, I need to take rest. I need to take a break. I need to just refresh myself, renew myself. But that the fire is there inside them, wanting to go on. Whereas when somebody's really burnt out, that motivation is gone. It's like the fire is extinguished. So here the fire is still burning, just that the container, the body needs rest, body and mind needs rest. And so, take a break, a few days, whatever it needs. Whereas in burnout, you don't feel like it. You're like, hey, I don't want to go back to work. I don't want to do this. I don't want to meet people. I don't want to preach another sermon. That fire is gone. And then something is really wrong, and it's better not to get to that place, but to keep ourselves keep the fire constantly rekindled, renewed, so we can, keep running and avoid getting that place where we really burnt out. And burnout means now you've got to restart that fire and reignite that passion, which is, it's a big task.
Yes. And something that I know that you do it with you is that every year you block off, I think twice a year, you block off your calendar and you travel, go away with your family. And I'm sure that's helped you to get that rest that you need. But there are sometimes there are these workaholics. They just have to work. They can't do anything else but work. And they don't realize that they're on the verge of a burnout. Just, get to the grind. Keep doing what you're doing. So what are the clearest warning signs of a burnout that leaders often ignore until it's too late? What are some of the warning signs? Okay, I know, this looks like a burnout more than a stress or... so what are some of the warning signs?
Yeah. So I think some of the things that, I would look out for. One is, like I mentioned earlier, my motivation. If I feel like going up, and as a Christian leader, going up to preach or doing what I need to do in the ministry, if I feel like it's a drudgery, like I have to force myself to do it. It's like I have to force. Then I know, hey, something is going wrong. I'm not getting up with that excitement of I want to go and do this. That's a sign. Another sign is if I'm very irritable, that somebody comes to me with a problem. Of course, as leaders, right? It's like so many things come at you at the same time, right? One person reaching out for help doesn't know that on the same day you've got 5 other requests that have come in. They don't know it. They think their request is the only request you received. But actually, as a leader, and I'm looking. I was thinking about this yesterday. I'm looking at my phone. Like, I've got so many messages, I haven't even been able to reply, and all kinds of requests for help, right? Whether it's somebody who's sick or a couple of people who need that kind of help. Somebody wants some guidance on their career and 2-3 people in that space. It's all coming at the same time. But if I'm on the verge of burnout, I'll be very irritable, right? Like my reaction, my response to these people would be impolite, not nice. But when I'm enjoying this, it's more of me, let me see how do I schedule all of them, serve all of them well. I cannot maybe do all of them today. I may have to space them out over the next 2 weeks. But I just planned it out. But it's a joyful thing, right? To be able to serve. But if I'm not able to do it joyfully, and I am irritable, then hey, that's another sign that you're on the verge of you really need to attend to yourself, because this is an obvious sign. If I'm very irritable, the way I react, speak to people, handle my situations, I think these two things I would look for as early indicators of you're getting there.
Right. Also, you mentioned that I think I forget which book, but you said know what is important and maybe also prioritize what's important, right? Plus, you talked about work-life balance in the APC publication, Timeless Principles for the Workplace. You mentioned learn to balance, maintain the rhythm of worship, work, and rest, right? And that's wonderful. So, what are the best practices for setting clear boundaries between family and personal life, and maybe also work? So, how do we balance those three things?
Right. Yeah. So what I've learned is that these boundaries, the balance, it changes with the season of life you're in. So let's say if somebody's in an early stage in their journey and they're single, you've got basically all your time is in your hands, and you can do a lot more with manage it, however you wish. Now you allocate certain time for your spiritual thing, your work, and so on. So you're in more control. When you're married, now you also have to think about your spouse. It's not just your interests, but it's like, okay, now I've married, we're going to do things together. What are the needs of my spouse? Spending time. So the dynamic changes, the way we manage things changes, and so on. Then when you have children and so on, and then later on children leave, and then again it's just you and your spouse. So the key is that in these various stages, we need to allocate time to the things that we consider important, that we're responsible for, in terms of priority. You prioritize things. So I need to spend time with God. So how am I going to do that? So each one, whether it's in the morning or the evening or whenever, you have your time with God, your time for your family, and the time for work. So keeping these things, depending on the season of life you're in, making sure that we allocate time and, are conscious that keeping things in balance is important. So what are the skills that we need? Managing our time. Planning ahead really helps. So next week I can plan my time. I can put it on my calendar. So I'm in control of what's to a good degree, or how I'm going to spend my time in the coming week. Keeping short accounts, meaning if 1 week has been really busy, maybe at work, then the following week, I try to balance it out. Change it, spend more time in other things, less time in work. So keeping short accounts just to rebalance things. Those are skills that we need that help us keep things in right order. Yeah.
So, Pastor, one of the things that I learned getting into leadership all these years was a challenge was how to say no, because you've got all of these requests coming in, and we want to serve everyone, but also the aspect of saying, okay, no, not now. They will maybe later on. And you mentioned having a true value scale, and I understand that you take what is priority and you work towards it. But I just want to ask, what are some of the simple habits? But you are a person, and I think leaders in general, they envision things way ahead into the future. So what are some simple daily habits that every leader should have to sustain the ministry for the next 20 odd years? Because I remember in our pastors' meeting, you sometimes you say, guys, I'm not going to be here too long, and you have to pick it up. You have to take it up. And what are some of the habits that you would encourage leaders also to sustain whatever they have for generations ahead?
Very important, I think, is that daily time of renewal, spiritual renewal with God. Because just like we need physically, we sleep every day. Every day our body and mind is physically renewed. I think, and I can't give chapter and verse on this, but I think that also tells us that we need spiritual renewal on a daily basis, or at least frequent, right? Which means time with God, just time in His Word, or if somebody likes worship more, more time in worship, or depending each one, how are you spiritually renewed, So for me, praying in tongues, just meditating the Bible, these are two things that bring me a lot of renewal. Spiritually I'm renewed that way. Just pray in tongues and read the Bible, meditate in the Bible. So to stay for long, one is daily renewal. A second key is enjoy what you're doing. Right? And of course, in any setting, ministry or outside, there will be things that you have to do it. It may not be the things you really enjoy doing, but you just got to get it done. So do those things quickly, move more lightly on them, but put your energy into the thing that you enjoy doing. Right? So work lightly. Get it done, but move quickly on those things that need to be done, but that's not the real thing. But put your energy on things. So day to day, you feel fulfilled. And this is interesting scripture. I think it's Proverbs 13, verse 12. It says, hope deferred makes the heart sick, but a desire fulfilled is like a tree of life. So if you think about it in the short term, a day-to-day thing, in a day-to-day, something you accomplish, it's a tree of life. It fills you with that. It reinvigorates you, right? Whereas if you something that you don't feel accomplished, it's like makes your heart sick. Like, okay, not done, But if I can have those short things done, I feel renewed. So then it helps us keep going day by day by day, and keeps us going. Yeah.
Right. That's wonderful, Pastor. And I'm sure you're still envisioning so many things ahead for us as a ministry, and you always, you always put that vision into us as well. So that keeps us also us excited and keeps us to look forward as well. Pastor, just one last question. Leadership is lonely. It's a place of lonely. Sometimes we don't have friends, and we need friends. We need people apart from family and the team. How does a leader guard against loneliness and find someone who they can, openly talk to and be, get honest advice from them? So, for example, when I joined here many years ago, I had people that I can talk to. I still have people that I can talk to. So, how can a leader guard against that feeling of loneliness?
Yeah. So that definitely is a big challenge in leadership, especially if you are at the top, right? Because everybody else is looking up to you, and there are times when you feel alone, feel lonely, and so I think just having friends outside of the immediate community, like so for us, say as a pastor, I relate. Can relate to other pastors, or have friendships, or even they don't necessarily have to be pastors of big churches or any of that, but just friends, that we can talk to, relate to, and they don't necessarily have to be pastors. They could be just people doing something else, but that you can talk to, you can get counsel from, interact. Many times they would be older to us. So I think finding 1-2 people like that we can engage with is something that we can do, and will help us in avoid that place of loneliness. But that definitely is a challenge, for leaders, especially even in the Christian church, because everybody's looking up to you. So you need something outside, to just have at least 1 or 2 people outside that to give you the ideas, the counsel, the inputs is important.
Yes. Right. Thank you so much, Pastor, for sharing your heart, sharing your thoughts with us over this entire podcast series. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, Do leave a comment, like this video, share it with a friend, and have a great week ahead. God bless each one of you, your ministries, and everything that God has for you. God bless you.